Things I loved and hated about P&O ship Ventura. Before we go into this, I'm going to start off with a nice coffee because this video is going to ruffle some feathers. But anyway, we are going to go through 3 things that I loved and 3 things... Hang on, let's get these fingers right, Daddy. 3 things that I loved and 3 things that I hated across P&O's Ventura. And you know what? Usually I start with a negative in this, but I'm going to jump straight into a positive because listen, I'm all here about the positivity on this channel. And one of the things that I loved about P&O's Ventura was the customer service. Let me tell you, I've done 7 ships, 7 different cruises with a few various different cruise lines, MSC, Royal Caribbean, P&O. And what I can actually tell you about P&O is the customer service is always second to none. Some people might watch this video and say, nah, I don't agree with you, Danny. And that's absolutely fine. If you don't agree with anything that I say, let me know in the comments. This isn't a democracy here. You know, you can... Oh, actually, that's the wrong word. It's not democracy. What is it? Hang on. What is it? Ah, that's it. It's not a dictatorship. You guys can... Oh my God. You guys can have your say and you can let me know in the comments what you think. Hang on. Let's have another sip of coffee. I think I need a bit of a caffeine kick here. Customer service on P&O, in my opinion, is always second to none. We had issues on the ship and I'm going to talk about them in this video. But when we did have issues, P&O fixed them like immediately. A good little mini thing that I want to quickly chat about is my uncle and my nana and the kids, they all booked the holiday together. One of the things that they wanted to do was, obviously because they had kids, they wanted to put kids in certain cabins so they could take full advantage of the drinks package. So it meant that if they got the ultimate drinks package, the kids came free. So that was a big thing that they wanted to do when they got on this ship. And I said to them originally, before we even got on this ship, that actually I thought this was going to be a nightmare for them because at the end of the day, P&O, you've booked your cabins, P&O aren't going to sit there and go through and change everyone's cabins so they can save money, i.e. meaning the family. However, guys, they fixed it. They got on the ship, they had to wait in a long reception queue because the queues on P&O sometimes, because everyone's got something to complain about on these P&O ships, and if you've been on one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We got onto the ship, the family queued, and literally P&O went through every single booking for them and put them in cabins so the family could take the best valued drinks packages. To me, how great is that for customer service? Because in a way, P&O are losing money because it was me that told the family about it, and if they didn't know about it, they would have just got drinks packages for every single person, but they didn't need it because if you get an ultimate drinks package, the kids come free. And if you didn't know that, then thank you very much. You can say thank you by clicking the subscribe button and hitting the like button down below. Yeah, before I got on the ship, I heard so many negative things from other different cruise vloggers who've been on these cruises, passengers saying the customer service on Ventura is bad, they're understaffed, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, right, I don't know if P&O were understaffed on our cruise. I don't know. I'm not the HR manager with all the figures of knowing how many staff they've got and how many passengers were on the ship. But what I can tell you is never at any point did I feel like there wasn't enough staff. Ever did I feel like we weren't getting value for money. And we'll talk about value for money later in this video. All the way through, I just felt like P&O's customer service and everything that they were there to offer us was 10 out of 10. And like I say, I will tell you the truth, and there's a few things that P&O aren't going to like if they watch this video that I'm going to mention in this video. This isn't you know, oh P&O, I love you so much, give me a holiday. No, it's not one of them videos, guys. I am going to be quite blunt in some of the in this video, just chatting about things that I think could improve and things that I do think need to change. Right, guys, are you ready for the first hate? I wouldn't call it a hate, I would call it more of a con/dislike, but it was the cleanliness on our ship. Listen, right, I've been, like I said to you before, I've been on a few cruises. My expectation of cruises is you get the best food, you get great value for money when it comes to cost per night. You get to visit all these amazing countries, which, like, come on, how many holidays can you go on where you visit multiple countries and you don't even have to unpack? Like, that in itself is amazing. You know, I do more unpacking and packing when I go to Florida because I jump accommodation so much. But on these cruises, you stay for 7 to 14 nights. And you know, you don't have to unpack your bag, you just arrive in these countries. But unfortunately, guys, I think a big thing for us on this cruise was cleanliness in regards to what our family saw and in regards to what we saw in our room. Now, I think a big part of this is the turnaround that the P&O in other cruise lines put on their housekeeping staff. You know, sometimes these staff have got to clean X amount of rooms in a very short period of time because people are getting off and people are getting on. We got on the ship at around about 10:30 in the morning. I think the first lot of passengers only got off at 8 AM. So we were on super early, and we got access to our cabin at around about 1 p.m. on that day. But unfortunately, when we walked into our cabin, the room wasn't, in our opinion, ready. There was someone's leftover sock underneath the bed. There was a very long, mysterious hair, or a couple of hairs in the showers that looked like something that doesn't come from the head, guys. Let's put that way. Now, listen, we're the sort of people that don't like to moan about stuff. We washed it ourselves. I got the shower out. I gave the shower a little clean myself. Even when the housekeeper came, you know, we said, hi, how are you? He was a lovely man. Apologies, I can't remember his name now. It was in April last year that we went on this holiday, but he was lovely. We didn't even mention anything to him. The only thing we did do is we did go down to reception and return the smelly old sock that was left under our bed. Another gripe is just how old and tired that P&O's Ventura looks. I've sailed on quite a lot of the newer ships, and probably this is me coming from a wrong angle. Maybe some people might watch this and go, actually, I disagree with you, Danny, which is absolutely fine. Put it in the comments. It's, like I say, it's not a democracy, guys. It's not a dictatorship. You know, put in the comments if you disagree with us, but the ship looked old and tired, and even when you looked at the windows, you could see the rust and stuff, and I just feel like the ship may need a little, it's probably due a refurbishment, but I do believe the ship already had a refurbishment before we got on. I don't know, but the ship's just a bit old and tired, but, you know, overall, I don't think that's the end of the world. This is just me being a little bit like, get your ship looking newer, P&O. But even though this is negative, I'm going to talk about some of the pros about the cleanliness. Bathrooms were always clean. I'm not joking, I feel like if my food got dropped on the floor in some of them bathrooms, I would eat it off the floor, because they are in there cleaning all of the time. What I was actually quite surprised at on our ship, and I would love to know in the comments if this has been happening on your cruises, but of how many people were still washing their hands. Now listen, I'm fully aware that on cruises, I've got to be careful of the word I was just about to use in my head. I'm fully aware that on cruises, people still have to wash their hands because of an illness. Put it in the comments. What is it? It's something that goes on in your intestines when you're on ships. And I nearly said something else, which I know it's definitely not that. But basically, you've got to keep your hands clean on ships because viruses spread really, really fast. We all know what happens when viruses get on ships, guys. We all know what happens. We all remember 2020. But on this ship, people were still washing their hands, people were still cleaning, and not that I expected people not to, because people have respect for each other, right? But people were really good on our cruise. Like, the staff were great to remind everyone, people were great, and like everyone was, like even kids were singing happy birthday when they were washing their hands. That's quite funny, because it always reminds us of Boris. But you know, people were really good, and like I say, cleanliness isn't always a negative, guys. There was a lot of pros in regards to cleanliness, and at never any point did I feel like we were eating dirty food, or you know, people were great around the buffets and things like that. So as much as cleanliness isn't a negative, I do want to talk about the positives as well. Let's jump on to a positive, which is number 2 in regards to positives, which is the other passengers. Now, you may remember, right, I've done 2 of these videos previously, one for Arvia and one for Iona. Now, I've sometimes spoken negatively about other people on the cruises, i.e. passengers, because sometimes, guys, I think that, you know, I think sometimes we give ourselves bad names, because as much as some people from other countries think we're quite shy people, sometimes we do give ourselves bad names. And I remember on the Arvia ship, some of the people on that ship, the way they spoke to the staff was the worst I've ever seen, and I did call it out on my video. And if you do want to watch that video, it's things I loved and hated about P&O's Arvia. What I will say about this ship, and maybe it's just the type of people that were on this ship. Bearing in mind this was a super cheap sailing, I felt like the people were unreal on this ship. And I'm not the sort of person, by the way, I just want to get this across, that walks around with a clipboard going, they look all right. No, I'm not that type of person. You go on your holiday, you do your holiday the way you do. I couldn't care less how you're dressed at your meal. I couldn't care less if you're wearing a suit from Primark to if you're wearing a suit from Ralph Lauren. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm a huge advocate that cruising should be for everyone. It's not for the super rich, it's not for the middle class, it's for everyone. Everyone should be able to cruise, and our cruise was a great example of where the price was cheap, and we'll talk about value for money later in this video. The price was cheap, and the people on it were great people. We made so many friends. Can I just thank, I don't know your names, right? But can I just thank the people that kept my nana company? Because we felt so guilty on this cruise, because my nana, bless her, she's 70, she's a smokeaholic, she smokes about 40 tabs a day. For anyone that may have saw us on the cruise, you probably saw us around by the smoking shop, because my nana was in there every day buying up the ship, and we kept saying that to her, Nana, you might get stopped at border security. Everyone was having a laugh, everyone was buying loads of drink and tabs, and my nana got on with this group of people, and she ended up spending more time with them than she did with us. And thank you for being the babysitter, guys. No, like, we had such a great time, and my nana came off that ship feeling like she had made some friends. She's at that age where she's 70 and she doesn't make a lot of new friends now, and I feel like she feels like she's kind of like, I don't know, like she's useless and she doesn't want to hold us back, and we keep telling her that she's not holding us back. But what was great is she met people on the ship and she got on, and every single night she'd be like, right, I'm going to see me friends, and she would wheel herself up to deck 14 or 15, wherever the smokers area was, and have a couple of tabs with these people, and we would literally be like, where's Nana? And it'd be like 9 o'clock at night, and we woke up there and the winds go blowing, everyone's hair's falling off, everyone's holding onto the barriers, you know, saying, oh my god, it's so windy, and there's my nana and all the smokers with their tabs going, isn't this a good life? That's literally what it was like. Can someone confirm to me, if you're a smoker, in the comments, why on earth you put yourself through that madness? In the blustery, gustiest winds that you will stand at the top of these ships just for a cig. I would love to know. Comments, guys, sorry. Oh my god. But it's no hate to smokers, but the people on this ship were great. We met so many viewers, actually. I was shocked. I didn't expect to see any viewers on the ship, but thank you so much for coming up to us and saying you watch the vlogs and you like them. Like, it's still like, it just means a lot. It really does. So a huge thank you. But just, yeah, like, people on this ship were great. And like I say, I don't want to come across one of these people where I sit there and look at all the other passengers as well, because that is just not us. But and later in this video I'm going to chat about why I actually bring this up quite a bit. But anyway, we'll go on to another con. Con number 2, unfortunately, was the entertainment. Again, P&O's entertainment isn't catered to me. I know for a fine fact P&O's entertainment is obviously catered to an older audience. And let's put it this way, my uncle's 40, in his 40s, and he didn't love the entertainment, but he thought the entertainment was good. My nana didn't see any of the entertainment, so talk about my nana. But in regards to my uncle really enjoyed the entertainment. I find the shows on P&O a little bit old, sometimes a little bit dated, but do you know what, guys? There's a lot of people on these ships that love the entertainment. So from my standpoint as a 30-something, how depressing, a 30-something-year-old, the entertainment is not really my cup of tea. But for someone who's a little bit older or likes more classical shows, more musicals, like, oh god, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, just Strictly Come Dancing and things like that, then this is probably going to be up your street. And let me talk about entertainment as a pro and a negative. So what I did find on this ship is the entertainment was very repetitive. I think the same comedian was on every night, and we went to see him once and then he did the same jokes the second day. I have heard this a lot from a lot of you guys messaging me on Instagram and commenting on my videos saying the entertainment comedians were a little bit, I don't blame the entertainment, the comedians themselves. I feel like there's probably strict rules from P&O where they're not allowed to just spout what they like, because obviously it's a family ship, you know, they've got to be careful. So there's probably rules to that as well, but I have heard some of the people say that the comedians were a little bit dry. Now listen, I've got the crappiest sense of humour ever. I laugh at anything. So to be fair, I thought the comedian was quite funny, but when we went to see him the second night, it was the same repetitive jokes. And I was like, God, like, I wonder if he's going to do this every night. And I think he did 3 nights in a row and it was the same jokes every night. So yeah, maybe it's the rules of P&O, who knows. But what I will say, right, is one night we did go to the main show and we watched it, and they had a disaster. It went out, I think they must have had a power cut or something, and everything went down, and it was really, like, I vlogged it and I decided not to put it in the videos, and I should have put it in the video. I think I talk about it, but I didn't put what happened in the videos because out of respect for the cast members. But what I will say is a positive about the cast members and P&O's production elements is the professionality is absolutely brilliant. And when things go wrong, oh boy, do they fix it, and do they, like, really, the professionality of it is, in my opinion, 10 out of 10. I've seen a lot of shows in my life, been a lot of concerts, I've managed concerts before, I've seen a lot of behind the scenes, and what honestly, in my opinion, the professionality of them cast members and the staff of P&O is 10 out of 10. Like I say, it's not really my cup of tea. It's a negative because obviously it's 3 pros and 3 cons. It wasn't my cup of tea. However, it's not to say that it's not going to be your cup of tea. I think you might get on the ship and you might be like, actually, the entertainment's for me. All right, we're on to the final pro, which is number 3, which is value for money. Now, I'm a dad now, guys. I've got a kid, as you probably would have seen. I'm going to be rocking all this Daddy Bear merch. This is not mine, by the way, it's from us, so this was a gift. Actually, so I don't mind telling you, we paid £599 for this cruise for a balcony cabin each. So not in total. God, imagine it was $599 in total. $599 each. We did a 7-night sailing from Southampton. We sailed to Vigo, Lisbon, Porto, and Cherbourg. That was it. Let me tell you, it was one of my favourite cruises I've ever done, and what was more better than anything was the cost. The cost. We had the best weather. Some of you commented actually of how good our weather was. We crossed the Bay of Biscay. We didn't really have much issues. The value for money for our cruise was 10 out of 10. When you're thinking that you're paying 599 quid for entertainment, food, getting dropped off at ports every night and having these amazing experiences, £599. Guys, we're going on a haven holiday right this year. Oh God, honestly, I hate talking about this because I know we've been, honestly, we're going on a haven holiday this year. We're just doing a little mini holiday, me, Con, and our little boy. For anyone that doesn't know, we've got a little boy now. He's amazing. We love him to bits, and we can't wait to bring him on cruises, and we can't wait to take him to Disney World. But we thought, we went to Centre Parks last year, and we thought what might be another really good little holiday this year is a haven holiday. I grew up going to haven holidays all the time as a kid because my family could never afford a holiday abroad or anything. Con's never done a haven holiday before. So I just thought it would be a really good thing to do, but we paid the price for it. And what happened is all the families started booking on, and we were one of the last ones to book on, so we kind of got a surge cost, and I think we've paid over 800 quid for 4 nights for a haven holiday. And literally, when I think about what we're paying for that haven holiday to what we could pay on P&O for a week's holiday around Europe, it really really annoys us. Not to knock Haven, by the way. I love Haven. Haven holidays are blooming brilliant. Great for the kids, great family time. They're amazing, but the cost, it's expensive. So when I put that with this on this cruise for value for money, I think to myself, bloody hell, you can't knock it. Bearing in mind, we're in the heat of a cost of living crisis in April as well. So, you know, we're in the heat of fuel prices being through the roof. We actually worked out that the cost of food, because we were in the middle of April where the food prices were sky high, and we were actually thinking like it was probably cheaper to be on this cruise for the week than it would be staying at home, because petrol prices were through the roof and everything was expensive. So in regards to value for money for number 3 as a pro, it was absolutely 10 out of 10, and I can't thank P&O for keeping the prices low, meaning that more guests can travel. And I know P&O, if they could, they would charge more. Obviously, they're a business, I get that, but it means that more people are exposed to cruising, and I think that's always a good thing. I'm just going to actually debunk something for people who have never cruised before, and I'm going to cover a myth, right, which is number 1, which is in regards to safety on ships. Firstly, there's no class system on ships, guys. If you've watched Titanic and are thinking, oh my God, I've seen Titanic, God, we better book a balcony or we better book a suite because I don't want to be the last one off the ship if God forbid anything happens. Guys, it's a movie. This happened in 1912. Things are very different in the last 120 odd years, 112 years since Titanic sunk. There's no class system. There's enough lifeboats for every single person, and the safety protocols on ships now are like as safe as they possibly can be. We learn from mistakes, guys, of the past, and that's the thing. You know, there's been ship sinkings in the past. I'm not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about, but I just want to cover this because I do get people asking, friends, family, viewers who've never sailed before, especially people from the Disney community, and they ask like, oh, like, is there enough lifeboats for people and things like that. Honestly, guys, you are 100% safe when you're on this ship. You do not have to worry about a single thing. Your safety is tip top of P&O's and any cruise line that you travel with as priority. But now going to jump on a con number 3. Now this is going to ruffle some feathers, guys, but it needs to be said. The dress code on P&O. Now listen, this is not a dig at P&O, by the way, in regards to dress code. This is a dig at, unfortunately, the people who think that P&O staff who walk around the ship, which are fellow guests, that think it's okay to pull people apart for what they're wearing. Now guys, honestly, everyone is welcome to have an opinion. You are welcome to go on a ship and go, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I just think it's really unfair when people pull each other apart. And a really good example of this, okay, a really good example is me, right? I don't follow the dress codes when I'm on these ships, but sometimes when we're in 35-degree heat, I decide to wear a short-sleeved shirt rather than a long-sleeved shirt. I've been on plenty of P&O ships, I've never had an issue, but passengers seem to want to tell me that I would be refused entry into some of the restaurants for wearing a short-sleeved t-shirt. And guys, honestly, right, again, this is more to people that have never sailed before. Please don't listen to some of the people that will tell you, oh, you need to wear this, or you might not be allowed to do this, or you can't wear that suit because it's not black, or if you don't wear a black suit, oh my God, honestly, you need to wear a black... Guys, P&O have got rules. Go on their website, follow the rules, you can see them all on there. But also, there is a lot of... You know, P&O, as much as it's called black tie night, not everyone wears a black tied suit. And honestly, biggest respect for all the people that want to get all dressed nice. I think it's really, really lovely. I think it's great. But guys, what I want to do, right, is I want to ask you a question. How many meals have you been on when you've went to a really fancy restaurant and the only thing you're focused on when you've walked in is what everyone else is wearing? Because unfortunately, there is a small minority of people on these cruises, and it only seems to be P&O. Doesn't seem to be any other cruise line, but there is a small minority of people that feel like it's okay to pull people apart and judge them for what they're wearing. And guys, we're in 2024 now. I'm recording this in 2024. Just let people enjoy the holidays. Don't dictate to them of what they should wear and what they shouldn't wear. And if you're, because honestly, my first holiday, oh my God, I was so stressed because everyone was like, oh no, you can't wear this and you can't wear that. I've done 59 cruises. Block all of it out. You go the way you want to dress. Go on P&O's website, I'll link it below. The dress code is there. As long as you follow that, guys, you won't have an issue. But listen, if you're someone that wants to be a little bit spicy and is going to wear a short sleeve top because you just fancy wearing a short sleeve top because it's 35 degrees outside, do not be any point a little bit worried that you're going to be turned away. I never had a single issue. Do you know when I actually got to the entrance of the restaurant, I showed the bloke, I was like, listen, I've got a short sleeve top on. Is there going to be any issues? I can go back to the room, I can put a long sleeve. It's wet. We've literally just left. I think we'd left Lisbon. It was boiling. It was the hottest day. Is there going to be an issue? He laughed. He was like, no, get your cell in, get your cell in. Obviously they knew us because of the filming and stuff. They're like, get your cell in. You know, guys, go the way you want to get dressed. Don't listen to some of the stuff that you may read online about the dress codes. As long as you follow P&O's rules, you're going to be absolutely fine. And listen, I just want to quickly say this out here as well. I can totally understand if you've been sailing with P&O for 20 years and you've been like kind of regimented into these dress codes and you're like, oh my God, you know, this is what you need to wear. And sometimes I know people are just trying to help other people. It doesn't always come from a place of whatever. It doesn't always come from a negative place. But guys, things have changed in the last 20 years and there's a lot more younger people sailing. Do you know what? Do you know if P&O decided tomorrow to axe the dress code, I'll be probably one of the only people that would be like, woo! Because honestly, I'm ready for it to go. Like I am, because I feel like one of the things that lets P&O down is the dress code. And I know for a fine fact, I can hear you all typing right now. All the ones that have been cruising since 1954, I can hear you all going, woo, you know, typing on your keyboards. But listen, right, there is a new generation of people who are cruising who don't want to get all dressed up every single night. And I know some of you won't get it, and I kind of understand, because I know for a fine fact, if I had been cruising for 20 years and I was watching a 30-something doing a video right now on YouTube saying, you know, dress code should change, you'd be a bit annoyed, and I get it, and I apologise if I've offended anyone. But I do feel like we are in a different stage of cruising now. You know, I think a really good example of that is, you know, other cruise lines who have decided just to completely get rid of their dress code. And I know the newer ships on P&O have only went down to one day a week, which P&O, I love yous for it. I'm glad that yous have done that. But guys, honestly, what I will say is, Go how you like, follow the dress code. It's on P&O's website, I'll link it below, but don't listen to what other people tell you, because honestly, you'll take 7 suits for 7 nights, and you really don't need to. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm quite happy to say this to you right now. P&O is my favorite cruise line. Ventura is one of my favorite ships that I've ever been on. If you've booked Ventura and are going on a Ventura cruise, you're gonna have a great time. Be rest assured. I hope these pros and cons will really help. Even with the cons, I've tried to give a positive with it as well. And let's just say it this way, guys. Every single person is different. Some of the things that I don't like, you're gonna love. And some of the things that I love, you're not probably gonna like. And that's absolutely fine, because it's not a dictatorship, guys. It's a democracy. Hooray! I got it right. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you haven't clicked subscribe already, hit the subscribe button. And enjoy your cruising, guys. Hopefully see you on a cruise very soon. See you later, guys. Enjoy your life, enjoy your week, enjoy your month, enjoy your year.